Hello, my fiery friends. Welcome once again to another fiery fun stream this week. I am your host, the Infernoman here, and we're going to have some fun with the hottest in budget deck technology. Actually, I should kind of hold it back for a second because today's deck is not budget, only just because, well, we have a holiday we have to celebrate. Which holiday is that? Well, for those that are uninformed, or maybe you're not from the US, excuse me. Ooh, excuse me that. Ooh, something went down my throat there in an awkward way. In any case, we're going to be celebrating, I guess it's the eve before All Hallows Eve, or Halloween, if you will. So we're going to be having some fun with a deck that you all voted on to see us play today in the stream. So without further ado, let's go ahead and we're going to jump right into it. We're not going to be doing midweek magic this week. I mostly just want to jump right into it. Oh, hey, Den Splint. As always, you're welcome to join us, of course. Hopefully, again, you're having a great day where you're at. And we're going to show you again what our deck is today. We're mostly going to be playing a deck that I am simply calling Halloween Horror. But I will also say there's not just horror creatures in this deck. We also, of course, have some nightmares as well, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. So for those of you who are a little bit newer to the stream, or maybe you're watching this on the replay, here's the breakdown of how this works. We'll, of course, go over the deck tech itself, all the stats and everything. We'll explain to you a brief description of how the deck is ideally supposed to run, and then, of course, we'll play as many games as we can over the next couple of hours to show you how well it does. Normally, these are budget decks, but because it is Halloween, and I wanted to celebrate a little bit and have some fun, we decided to go all out with a budget this week. Don't worry, of course, if you're going to stick around to the very end of the stream, I will show near the end how you can make this a budget deck if you are interested, of course, and maybe stepping into this, but you don't want to spend all the rares and mythics. So, without further ado, let's go ahead, let's go over this real quick. For those who are unaware, here are the stats of the deck if you just want to get the numbers down. Our Halloween Horror deck is going to be in the Explorer format today. We're rocking an average mana curve about 2.7. You're looking at a deck that's made of Esper colors, i.e. white, blue, and black. We're going to have a total of 23 creatures, 8 instants, 8 enchantments, 2 planeswalkers, and 25 lands. So with that, let's go ahead and see. So, as I mentioned earlier, the whole idea of the deck is we're mostly centered around some of the more efficient and value-heavy horrors and nightmares that are out there. And we're hoping to see if we can just scare up some good fun against our opponent and maybe just make them run away before we can just get the final blow in. So, let's start, of course, in the 1-drop slot here with Crawling Corpse. It's a Phyrexian horror. I do love what this card does. If it dies, it leaves behind a Phyrexian Might. You're going to notice that we also have a sub-theme to this deck, which we'll talk about in a little bit after we get through the whole deck tech. In the 2-drop slot here, we have Fading Hope here. Again, for anything that we just can't destroy or we just want to get some tempo play, this can help us, of course, bounce something back to our opponent's hand. Or if it's one of our creatures, we can bounce it away to recast it later on. If we are going to then take advantage of cards that are leaving the board, we're going to take advantage, of course, of Fatal Push here. Fatal Push, of course, will just destroy our creature, our target creature, if it has a mana value of 2 or less. We obviously want to hit Revolt here, so this way we can just do maximum value for the card. In the 2-drop slot here, this is again a card that probably not that many people remember anymore because it's been quite a while, but Wharf Infiltrator here is actually a human horror, and it also will create for us more Phyrexian horrors. This is actually pretty sweet for us. Or I'm sorry, Eldrazi horrors. I get my creatures all mixed up, but you get the idea. It's still a horror card. It has the Skulk ability, and I'm sure some of you out there are like, wait, what is Skulk? So as you can see in the top corner right here, Skulk is when a creature with Skulk cannot be blocked, but the creature of greater power. So as long as our opponent has at least something stronger than the Wharf Infiltrator here, we can dish damage to it. We can trigger its ability, which allows us to loot by drawing a card and discarding a card. And once we discard a card, you can pay 2, and then you get to create more of these Eldrazi horror tokens to help us go wide. We also have a bit of removal here with Bitter Triumph. We have Witch's Vanity here for more removal. This will also create for us a food token and add a Wicked Roll token attached to a creature we control. These tokens will actually be very helpful for us later in the game. But again, I'll talk about how that works in just a moment. In the 3-drop slot here, one of our nightmare creatures, Fear of Imposters. So this is going to be a counter spell for us. Yes, our opponent, unfortunately, will get a creature out of the deal, but we don't care about that because we do have removal anyway for those things before they can really use it to their advantage. Ideally, we're using it because it has the flash mechanic. You technically can chump block it with it if you need to in a pinch, while at the same time countering a spell that your opponent might try to cast. So this is great as a tempo play to shift the focus back to us. And then in the 3-drop slot, again, we also have Woe Strider here. I also love this card. It enters, it creates a goat token for us. If we sacrifice another creature, we get to scry 1. It also just keeps coming back from the graveyard because of its escape ability. So we exile 4 cards from our graveyard. It comes back with 2+1/+1 counters on it, making it even stronger than it was earlier. Now, in the 4-drop slot, this is again where the real fears line up for us. We have Mondrak, Glory Dominus. And as I mentioned earlier, we of course are going to utilize quite a few tokens in the deck. So I figured, let's go ahead, let's kind of go with a token sub-theme. So with this out, we'll be able to then double up all of our tokens that we're going to need in order to then get through our game plan here and help us go wide even faster. Mondrak here, of course, can also sacrifice some of those artifacts or creatures we put out there to put an indestructible counter on it and then make it very hard for our opponent to get rid of. However, we also want a big payoff for the deck. So we're going to be rocking, of course, Devouring Sugar Maw. Oh man, nobody really plays this card, but this card is actually really, really good. So with the proper setup, this is going to be a great finisher. On the instant adventure side here, we get to create a 1/1 white human creature token and a food token. However, at the beginning of our upkeep, we can have to sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or a token. And if we don't, we have to tap down the Devouring Sugar Maw. However, as you see, we have 2 tokens from it, but also we have tokens from Witch's Vanity here. We can also sacrifice our Crawling Corpse token if we need to. We have goat tokens. We have actually quite a few tokens in this deck, so we can keep sacrificing them to make sure the Devouring Sugar Maw keeps well fed. And of course, we just eat down our opponent before they can do anything to us. That Menace and Trample is actually going to be very key to push through damage no matter what against our opponents. So that's what I'm really excited for. Now, in order to make sure that in case if this doesn't go off, we do have another game plan set up in the deck. So we have 2 more finishers per se. Plan B to the deck is Ashiok. Of course, we had to have at least in a Halloween deck Ashiok because it creates nightmares for us. So Ashiok Nightmare Muse here is a 5-drop here. And of course, when you can then take it up to give some 2/3 Nightmare creature tokens. When they attack or block, you get to exile cards from the top of our opponent's library. -3 can bounce something back to our opponent's hand, and they have to exile a card from their hand. Ideally, if we can get to that 7 tick ultimate ability, we can cast up to 3 spells from any of the exile cards we own without paying their mana cost. So we can basically kind of flip the game and hopefully just close out our opponent and destroy them before they can do anything. However, we also have yet another option for us that also kind of meshes well with the Devouring Sugar Bomb plan and Mondrak here. We have Overlord of the Mistmoors. This is actually really great for our deck because this Avatar Horror has the impending mechanic. You saw it if you saw the gameplay I did a couple weeks ago when I did actually the deck tech on the Overlords. If you haven't seen that, you totally should check it out. It's actually a really, really sweet video. But anyways, this of course is our best one because it helps us go wide. We can also utilize its abilities here if we have to sacrifice them to the Devouring Sugar Maw just to make sure we can keep the game plan going. Those tokens also add up, and once we have the impending mechanic completed with this, we can start swinging with a 6/6 that creates some 2/2/1s the whole game. Even if we can't do that, we have, of course, as you can see here, we have so many options for us. So hopefully we'll help get this game plan going no matter what we try on our opponent. Now, as I mentioned, this is a non-budget deck. So, of course, we're going to have to go pretty hard here on the land base. But don't worry, we want to make sure that we can get off what we need. So we have plains, islands, swamps, and, of course, the shocklands of Hallowed Fountain, Godless Shrine, Restless Forge here is actually not a shockland. But, of course, it is technically a creature because if you can play... Excuse me, I need to probably slow down here. But if you can pay 4, you can then turn this into a nightmare creature that can also ping our opponent by making them lose 2 life, and you can gain 2 life. Gloomlake Verge here from Duskmourn also is great for us to fix our mana along with Watery Graves. We have Raffine's Tower here for perfect fixing, even if it does come into play tapped. And then finally, some copies of Mirex here to help us create some Phyrexian Mites. Even if the Mites themselves are not horrors, plan C, plan D to the deck is to create a couple of extra tokens with the Mites so we can also get Toxic on our opponent. Not that we're ever going to expect that to actually go off, but it is an option for us if we need to. Now, finally, if you do want to play this in best of 3, here's going to be the best options for you for that. So, in best of 3 here, we have for your Artifact Enchantment and Planeswalker Hate, Fracture here. We have, of course, the 3-drop Ashiok here that can force our opponent to then mill and then exile, so this is going to be great for Graveyard Hate. If our opponent is very creature heavy, and you'll notice that we don't really care too much if our creatures actually live or die, we have Supreme Verdict here to blow up the whole board. Duresses here are great also for those combo decks out there and control decks. No More Lies, of course, a couple of those just for extra counterspell coverage. And then finally, extra counterspell coverage. And also, it is a horror creature, is going to be our Overcharged Amalgam here, which has Flash, Flying, and Exploit. Exploit just means that when it enters, you can sacrifice a creature. And if you do, then we can then counter a spell with this, an activated ability or triggered ability. Your opponents most likely will never see it coming. So that's honestly the whole deck for you. Is this deck possible to actually get some wins in and scare up some victories against our opponents? Well, I don't know about you, but I'm actually really excited to see how well this is going to do. So let's go ahead. Let's do this now. I'm going to kind of try not to talk too much here because I kind of just wore myself out. But let's see how well we do with our Halloween deck. We're going to jump into some ranked gameplay here. I don't expect this deck to go off too much because, again, the focus of this deck was to be more flavorful rather than competitive focused. However, I still believe that even when testing, when I played with this deck for the past week, it's actually kind of fun, despite the fact that maybe it's not the most optimized. So let's see if we can actually pull off some wins with this. Oh yes, Dense Planet. This deck will give Scream of a Lifetime. I actually was trying really hard to see what colors I wanted to do with this deck originally. This deck originally started as a Demir deck, but I was having trouble kind of figuring out the right balance. I didn't know if I wanted to go full control, mid-range, tempo, or just full-on creatures. And honestly, I think the best option is what we have this time, because we can actually take advantage of a card that no one really expects to see, but actually is actually really powerful, despite the fact that it does require a little bit of prepping before you can actually take full advantage of it. Okay, so here we go, everybody. We have all of our Gloomlake Verges, which is kind of awkward because we need to tap for that swamp. I don't know how we can do this, but we'll see. Let's keep this. We technically will have what we need as soon as we get the other land we're going to just try to go off with here, but hopefully this will work. Aside from that, now that I have a moment to kind of think for a second, and hopefully, again, if those of you that are also watching this in the replay or whatever, hopefully, again, you're all having a great time out there. If you're watching this on Halloween, let me know, again, what you're wearing. If you're trick-or-treating, are you with your family or friends? Are you going out to, I don't know, are you going to see a scary movie? Are you going to attend a party? Let me know out there. I want to hear from all of you about what your plans are. Okay, Skrelv. We'll bounce that away. Okay, so we have the Mirex. Not quite the land I wanted, but I guess we could take it. Okay, so I think this is how we're going to do this. Keep the Mirex for now. Put down the Gloomlake Verge. They're unfortunately only going to be islands for now, so awkward for now, but we will have a way to get around this. Don't worry. Rush land. Illuminator Virtuoso. Okay, so we got to get rid of that now. We can't have that survive. That's going to be a threat. But the good news is we do have removal, which is Vanity. All right, too bad, opponent. You can't go off with your creatures just yet. We also will get to make token out of this, which is actually pretty sweet. Very on point. I'll make a one-on-one edit with Ashiok himself. Right on time, too. Nice. So yeah, originally the deck started off as just a pure Ashiok deck with all the Planeswalkers, but it just wasn't working out that well. I was actually kind of disappointed because, honestly, if Ashiok only had a 4-drop version, I think the deck probably would have been better in initial testing. But honestly, I like this version. Once we splashed for white, I think we were really onto something with this deck. So I was really happy with how it turned out. So, let's see. Our opponent right now has Skrell kind of pumped. We'll make a food token. Put out the Gloomlake Verge. We still don't quite have what we need, but that's okay. We still have options here to get around our opponent. Play the Wharf Infiltrator. If we could just get at least one Swamp, we'll turn on everything, and Devouring Sugarmaw should be able to then hopefully close this game out. Oh, it's interesting they put the Audacity on top of the Skrelv. That's an interesting one. Only just because Skulk now for sure can help push us through. And if we need to, we can chump block what we need to with our horror tokens. Let's see. Alright, opponent is drawing. Alright, ignore Shocklands, Temple Garden. Alright, opponent, what do you got? Sheltered by Ghosts. Alright. Alright, so that means, unfortunately, that is considered removal, which is annoying, but this is fine, everyone. This is fine. We'll find a way to get around this. And even if we don't, we have plenty of time, of course, today to play this deck and see how well it does. I honestly don't care about the fact that I'm in ranked right now. Even if I lose all my ranks from this jank deck, I'm still going to have fun with it. All right, so we got one poison counter on us. Ooh, scary. Yikes, poison. Opponent, what do you got? Nothing else. Okay, our turn. Well, Restless Fortress gives us a swamp, but it's still not quite what we want. So I think the only thing we can do right now is make a token. This is awkward. Not how you want the deck to roll. This is really, wow. I don't know how rare it is for us to actually get 3 of our Gloomlake Verges in the opening hand. That's actually, I don't know, I feel like I'd have to pull out the calculator for that to figure out, like, what are the odds that actually happens. All right, opponents. What do you got? Or take your time. It's okay. It's not like I have all day, you know. I don't know. All right, not trying to sound too impatient here, but I do want to try to see how many matches we can get in. I actually do want to... I probably will start asking on in an upcoming post for all y'all. For anybody that actually is watching, and you can answer it here. Are you all happy with the fact that you see me mostly do one-on-one matches? Would you like me to see, I don't know, maybe in a... I don't know, maybe in a future stream, maybe if we mix together one-on-one and we mix in best of 3? Let me know how you feel about that. I would love to hear from you guys about that. All right, so in the meantime, Woe Strider. Maybe we could run a little bit more basics. We'll give, again, this is only just game 1, so we'll wait a little bit against Splendid and see how well this does. We swing here. All right, come on. 126. If we have to, we can survive at least one more turn, maybe with the food. But ideally, if we could only just get just one more removal spell, maybe we might be able to get there with this. Okay, one's going to swing. Okay, this is not ideal, but we'll do it this way. Block. Opponent. Come on, opponent. Okay, Shard Major's return. Okay. So they're getting some more pumping. Okay. So that means we have to now eat the food just to survive here. Oh, man. 2 more cards in hand, opponent. Do you have anything else? Oh. Yeah, they do. All right. Is that game? So even if I chump block here... Yeah, that's still game. Alright, that's fine. I'll just let them have it. Dang. Alright, well, as always, on tradition, and I guess on flavor for me, I always lose the first match. But hey, it's okay, everybody. Not a big deal. I also don't care about my rank all that much. As long as I usually get the platinum, which is actually not too hard in Arena, that's mostly where you want to set out anyway. You'll still get a good amount of rewards even just hitting platinum. So my advice to all of you out there, unless if you really are a competitive player out there, just hit platinum at least minimum. It's actually not too hard, even with like the most jank of decks. And you can get a 50-50 win, most likely, and then get your victories. Get your dailies done, get the max amount of value from everything. But in any case, let's go ahead and let's jump in now to our next match. And I do have a question for everybody. Now that all of you hopefully have seen the previews for Foundations, how are you all feeling about Foundations? I would love to hear from anybody out there that is interested, or at least, you know, what your thoughts are on it. I honestly am really, really happy to see what Foundations is coming up with. It has a good variety of classic cards. It does have a nice variety of strategy, and I honestly think it's a great backbone for the future for the game. So with that, down our crawling courses. All right, looks like we're gonna pretend to be a Phyrexian deck here now. All right, poison counters it is. Maybe that'll be our way to victory this time. Okay, so Lotus Cobra here. We can't have that survive. So the good news is that, however, we do have the Witch's Vanity. So take out Lotus Cobra. Bye-bye. All right, here we go. We're literally not... Hey, we're not a horror deck right now. We're a Phyrexian deck. 3 counters. Okay, not too bad. Maybe we might actually get the poison win. Not at all what I was expecting, but okay. More Infiltrator. All right, another food token. Well, this is kind of awkward. Oh boy, we don't have the mana. Maybe we should kind of reevaluate the mana base. I will have to kind of think about that. Foundation seems solid. New Chandra has potential. Yes. I honestly, I knew, let's be honest. I knew you were going to talk about that, Dense Planet. I know you. You definitely love Chandra. And also, I know you're going to be super hyped to see, like, more of her stuff cut up. Wow, our opponent actually took the damage here. They're up to 6 poison counters. Maybe we could have added in a little bit of poison support. Nah. That probably would have bogged the deck down a little bit too much. I want to stick to, of course, the core of the deck, which is, again, horror creatures and tokens. That's mostly what you want for the deck. Okay, well, our opponent's going to go off here. If we can get at least a blue source... Wow, the last game we couldn't get a swamp to save our lives. But in this game here, we need an island to help us just keep going. Alright, well, they have also... Ew, that's disgusting. They have an Alrund's Epiphany waiting in the wings here. Alright, what do you got, opponent? Are you going to play anything else? Anything at all? Aftermath Analyst. Alright. Hey, mill. Alright. But yes, I'm super excited for Foundations. I like all the options we have, and honestly, for us as a primarily budget YouTuber, I think we have a lot to work with, and we're definitely going to be using Foundations quite a bit to build a lot of awesome decks in the future for this channel. I'm honestly really, really hyped about it. Well, maybe we, I mean, you're not wrong there, Dense Planet. Maybe run more removal encounters. I mean, we could obviously change the dynamics. We're not married to, of course, what the whole deck is doing. I thought this was at least a decent balance of stuff, but maybe, I don't know if I should move some of the... I mean, it's still early. Let's give this at least another game or so. Maybe we can do some minor tweaks to it before we kind of round out finally what it is. And we do, of course, if we want to play this in best of 3, I think this deck might be actually a better best of 3 deck than I anticipated. Hunter, unfortunately, is going off here, which is actually really annoying. Oh, boy. You gotta love Simic, everybody. Alright. Well, they're all... Well, okay. What do we got here? Okay. Oh, deck. Why must you do this to me? Okay. Wow, our deck has betrayed us completely. I can't believe that. Like, literally, look at that. Just all the lands we can't really use. We're up to 8 counters, by the way. Not that it matters too much for us. They're down to 13. Okay. And we have all blue in our hands. Maybe I didn't build this that well. But again, I'm not always the best when it comes to this stuff. Even though I have a whole channel that's focused on trying to make things as budget as possible. I'm pretty good at budget decks, but when it comes to non-budget, sometimes I don't know, there's some things I do kind of mess up on. But that's okay. Alright, let's see. Opponent, what do you got? You got 5 cards in hand. and all the mana in the world. Yeah, I hate Simic, honestly. This is probably one of my least favorite combinations. Okay. It's okay. Breathe in. It's fine. Breathing in. We're good. We're not angry. They swinging. Down to 17. All right. Opponent gets another turn. Oh, come on, opponents. Really? Really? Wow. I swear, if they start looping stuff with us, I'm going to be really angry here. Alright, come on. I just need one blue source. Just one blue source can get me through this. Hopefully. Come on. Sacrifice. Disgusting. Dude. Okay. Okay, opponents. I get what you're trying to do. But I don't know, I kind of want to quit because I don't want to deal with this nonsense. I don't know. Should I quit? It's just going to keep going on and on here. If they have any more take turn spells, I'm probably going to just, like, vomit. Alright, come on, opponents. Yeah, again, this is why I'm not a fan of Simic and what it does. It's just endless stuff right here. Lands, ramp. See, honestly, I feel like the game really should be normalizing more land destruction, so you can kind of slow this kind of stuff down. Okay. I've got other things to do. I got other games to play. No, I'm not doing this, everybody. I'm sorry. I just can't. I know I usually say don't immediately quit, never give up, but I just don't have it in me right now to stomach that. Yeah. All right, okay, shaking it off. That's okay. Breathing in and out. Okay, we're going to try again. Don't worry. But otherwise, so let's see. What was the other question I was going to ask right now? Okay, so some of you may have already seen that we're going to get definitely some more stuff coming soon for Magic. I don't know if all of you have seen what is coming for 2025. Now that we got the official names for everything from last week's event, what do you all think about that? I would love to hear from you guys about what you see coming soon from the game. There, that's fine. Okay, so we got the Raffine's Tower, which is great for us to fix our mana, so we'll put this down. Let's put down first Wharf Infiltrator. So maybe we can go wide with our horrors right now in a bit. Let's see. Can we get there? All right, let's organize this a little bit. There we go. Okay, look good. Looks good. Okay, opponent, what do you got? You have right now a Triome. So you got... What are you playing? What card are our opponent be playing? The good news also with the Wharf Infiltrator is, as I mentioned, that ability it has allows us to kind of filter through our decks. So if we need to, we can kind of start digging around for other things. So this will be nice for us if we need to in a pinch. Of course, we need to wait for our opponent to do something, though. Come on, opponents. Where are you at? Yoo-hoo! Hello? Hello? Opponents? Maybe they're getting a package from Amazon right now. Anytime now. Nope. Not there? Oh. Okay, well. I did a little... Oh. Our opponent just shame scooped because they missed the return there. Well, I mean, hey, I don't blame them. It is what it is. So I guess I'll take a free win. Not quite what I want to do to get a win, but okay. It does help us get closer to our dailies done, though. Alright, here we go. Remember, kids, always, at least if you're going to do your dailies, you just need 4 wins, and that's ideally the maximum amount of stuff you can do. That'll get you at least 1,000 gold. That gets you, of course, some of your other stuff done, hopefully, and then you'll be able to save up enough gold, maybe for the next set, or at least another pack. Some suggestions to be on flavor. Twist Reality, Unwanted Remake, and Go for the Throat. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's right. I guess if I wanted to make those minor adjustments. The only reason why I like Bitter Triumph is, you know, it is a little bit more universal for what it does. But you're not wrong. Go for the Throat might actually be the better option for us if you want to go for flavor purposes. Maybe we'll make that tweak in a bit. Let's see what happens against our next opponents here. Alright, here we go. Okay, so we do have, at least this time, a much better mana curve right here. We have our removal, we have our counter spells. Okay, this is mostly a tempo hand, if I may so say so. Raphine's Tower for our fixed mana. Alright. Dark Slick Shores. Thoughtseize, as always. So our opponent gets a nice little peek about what we're trying to do. Yikes. Disgusting. Annoying. I mean, we have Duress in our hand. I mean, actually, now that I think about it, because we're non-budget, I don't know why I picked Duress. I probably realized I should have put in Thoughtseize for the best of 3. A small oversight. That's okay. You get the idea. Oh, Hero's Downfall would be nice flavor-wise for this. Alright, so they took our Skulker, which is annoying, but that's okay. Down our Swamp, and then we'll pass. Okay, opponent. What do you got? Are you playing a Dimir tempo deck? Are you playing Dimir Control? What is our opponent playing? They have a Thoughtseize. That obviously means... Oh, okay. That's what they got. Alright. Okay. Well, that's fine. Our opponent wants to play... How do we do this here? We'll shock ourselves. Okay, so here's how we do this. So, Witch's Vanity. Take out the Sword and Thought Thief. This at least will allow us to have a Fatal Push still for the next turn. So our opponent is playing Rogues. I haven't seen Rogues played in a long time. So that's kind of neat. Make a food token. And, well, we're going to pass here. So what we have now is the tempo hand. So we'll see what our opponent's going to try to do here. If they tempo as I expect, I can put down the Devouring Sugar Maw with the token, and maybe we can get there if we get our 4th land drop. Overlord of the Mistmoors is also waiting in the wings too, which is nice. Alright, opponent, what do you got? Maybe not on flavor, but quick study for card draw? That's not a bad option either. I mean, this is, again, like, this is meant for just to have fun for today, so it wasn't meant to be anything super serious. But I do like those suggestions. I like them a lot. Alright, come on. Stick. Give me my food. Give me my human. Come on. Nice. Okay. So we have plenty of tokens now. Alright. The Wicked Roll token is added to our human here. Assuming our opponent doesn't do anything. Opponents. Come on, opponents. Anytime now. No, that's fine, everybody. It's fine. I can wait it out. I will try to also... Well, okay, they finally did their thing. Okay, so Gloomlake Verge. We swing. Opponent, do you have an answer? Cling to Dust. Not what I was expecting, but okay. Is that all, opponents? Okay, they're down to 16. Okay, so this is now where things are going to be a little trickier for us. Now that we know that they're playing mostly on tempo, we're going to have to hold back a couple bits here. They also know that we have removal, and we have also counter spells waiting in the wings. So, alright, well, I guess I don't have a choice here. Fear of the Imposters? Or Fear of Imposters. Counterspell of Thoughtseize. Okay. Okay, well that went through. That's nice. Okay, so with that, they will manifest. Nowhere to run. So what did they hit? Are they hitting the Fear of Imposters? Okay. Well, that actually now sets us up for a Fatal Push here. Do you have another answer, opponents? Come on. Anytime now. Okay. There it is. So what was that? Oh, the Sword and Thought Thief. Wow, they didn't flip that? Okay. Well, I guess that's fine for us. So, let's see. I guess this is the turn to do it, so let's put down the Devouring Sugar Maw. Can this big booty donuts... Oh, it does stick. Nice. Never mind. No sweets for us. All tricks, no treats. Wow. Okay. That's okay. We still have another game plan here, everybody. We still have the Overlord. Oh. Interesting. So they're actually going for the mill game plan here. Interesting. Very, very interesting here. Okay, so here's how we do this. Overlord of the Mistmoors resolves. We make some tokens. All right, so I guess we're going with the go wide strategy here. And we have now Bitter Triumph ready to go. 3 turns, and our Overlord is online. Ring Sanity again. Oh, wow, they're going to try to mill us out here in one big go, aren't they? All right, well, maybe we can get there with the token plan now. All right. Our turn. Crawling Chorus. We're going to go swinging here. Soren Thought Thief. Oh, here we go. This is great. Okay, so finally, we will just... You know what? We're going to pay the 3 life. Down it goes. Down to 6. Wow, okay. This is looking good. Impending. Tick down to 2. That's 1 card each. 2 cards each. All right. All right, opponents. You're going to have to eat something if you want to actually survive. All right. Nothing? Nothing? Okay. Nothing, nothing. All right. Make our Murex token. Our Phyrexian token. Oh, another card for flavor in that might. Nowhere to run. Oh, yeah. I did think about that card initially for the first version of the deck when it was mostly focused on Ashiok and enchantments. That actually was in the deck. But the problem with that card is you need a little bit of extra support to really kind of take advantage of what it does. I don't know. Maybe with these suggestions you're giving, Den Splendid, maybe this would be good if we can build this into, like, I don't know, maybe like an Ashiok style brawl deck, commander deck. I think that actually would be kind of super sweet with what we're trying to do here with the nightmares and all the flavor. I think that actually would be much better for us. Okay, clean the dust. So they did do their thing. They ate something, and they drew a card. We make our token. Opponent's got 2 cards in hand now. Fatal Push, 1 of the tokens. Okay. Ooh, Ashiok here is very, very nice. So with that, let's swing first. They're down to 1. So, Ashiok. We will... What do we do this here?
Welcome to
There we go.
all your fears are given.
Ashiok is so perfectly flavorful for today. The nightmares are here, everybody. All right, opponent. 1. You've got 1 left. Do we even have enough to actually cling to dust again? Oh, they actually could if they wanted to. Okay, so here's how we do this. We're going to bounce back... Let's see. Let's bounce back a Frank Sanity. They obviously don't have a way of dealing with Ashiok, so we can just start bouncing stuff away just to exile things out of their space. Say goodbye. Okay, this is it, opponent. Do you have an answer here? Soren Thought Thief. Oh, that doesn't do it. Too bad. Bounce away. I didn't even have to do that. I just wanted to do it just because I could. Scry? I mean, they can recast it if they want to. That just spends more mana, which I don't mind. Any other options, opponents? You literally have to block everything to win, or at least survive. Drown the lock. Okay, that's it. Yes. Exile 2 more cards, and that is it. The nightmares, the horror of it all. We push through. No fear from us, everybody. There we go. Our first win of the day. All right. All right. Yeah, the deck actually can get some wins. I love that. Okay. So as you saw right there, that's basically the other part of the game plan here is if we can just start resolving some of our tokens, we go wide enough or even our opponent here with tempo plays just couldn't stop us. So yeah, I got this. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Let's move on to the next match, everybody. Feeling good about that one. He is like Freddy Krueger, but even worse. Yeah, I would definitely say that. Ashiok is a little bit more terrifying than Freddy Krueger is. Don't get me wrong. He is a classic horror movie villain, monster. I don't know what we call him. I don't know. If anybody out there, let me know what is he referred to officially as. But otherwise, yes, Ashiok is quite the terrifying planeswalker. Especially because when you think about it, if you go from the story perspective, Ashiok is only one of the few planeswalkers that didn't lose their spark after March of the Machine. So he still gets to keep it, and he still gets to do his thing. Honestly, I would have expected I was actually hoping that Ashiok would get a push from Wizards to start making him maybe into a future big villain. Since he still has his Planeswalker Spark, his whole theme is based around nightmares. I think that would be an interesting thing to kind of now start really making that more into a unique villain. Or at the very least, and I know this might be a little bit more cliched, I think what they should do now is that they want to continue making like a new big villain, not just one, to make it like a group, kind of like a reverse Gatewatch, if you will. So I don't know, like Ashiok, Tezzeret. I mean, we don't really have that many Planeswalkers right now, but they could build up at least maybe a couple more. At least I would like to see that personally. I don't know. What do you all think about the story that is Magic currently? I would love to hear from you about this. So we'll then get our Wharf Infiltrator going. Our opponent has the Rivulet. It's a desert. So are they a desert deck? Are they a mill deck? Or are they a mono blue tempo deck? It could be any one of those. Witness Protection. Disgusting. So unfortunately that does turn off our creature here, but that's okay. We're not too concerned about that right now. In any case, we can have, let's see. Let's get the Restless Fortress down. Crawling Chorus. Alright, let's just resolve it. So our I don't know. So our Skulker here, our actual card, the Infiltrator, has now become a legitimate business person. He now, I guess he went straight, maybe, and now just wants to own a business. That's why he's a citizen now. I don't know. I just find that card funny. Witness Protection literally just flips anything into a legitimate business person. Like he's trying to own some, like trying to run a business. Maybe he's running a business on Frank Sanity again. Okay. I guess opponents today are in a mill mood. I don't know why, but okay. I guess it's fine for us. Okay, we got another Wharf Infiltrator, which is nice. That'll be helpful for later. Let's do it this way. Woe Strider, though. Make a goat token. Swinging here. Down to 15, and they get a poison counter. Okay. So, if we have to, we can always just sacrifice our legitimate business person. Yes. We can sacrifice this just to get some more value. Oh, okay, so they got a crab. So it is a mill deck completely. Alright, so they milled away our Mondrak, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. Cautious Hideous Laughter. Okay, that hurt. So we're down to half of our library, though. Okay, so with this, we will have to Fatal Push away that token now. Can't have that do his thing. Put the island. Overlord of the Mistmoors. It's going to be a little slow, but we can still put down threats against our opponent here. Down to 9. Is there a poison? Alright, opponent. Well, now our opponent has a clock. So hopefully we should be able to slow them down completely. If they have another Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Okay, Jace Perfected Mind. Okay, that doesn't mill us out completely here, so I think we might have gotten him here. Okay, so they sacrificed their whole thing. Oh wait, actually, no, I forgot. Oh no, never mind, that mills. Never mind. They just beat us. Yeah. I forgot about the Frank Sanity. Alright, well, our opponent got us there with a mill. I guess everyone's in a mill mood today. Not sure why, but okay. It's alright, everybody. We'll get them next time. Not a big deal. You might be right on this one, Dense Planet. So, let's actually tweak it a little bit here. I usually don't like to do this mid-stream, but I think maybe we probably might want to. Okay, so the old idea was, I think that the Watery Graves and the, let's see. I mean, we don't have that many tap lands per se, but maybe we could trim down one Restless Fortress. Maybe we could put up, I don't know, an extra plains there. Let's see, if I look at the, okay, 17, 12, okay. I guess 2 of 2 of everything should be okay. Let's see, or maybe, maybe if I trim down one Gloomlake Verge, one Raffine's Tower for Island, I think that should be okay. That should be enough for now. Not too often I do minor tweaks like this mid-stream, but I think this time around, we want to make sure that we can still get things down cleanly. Also run Withering Torment. Oh, that might be an option too. We'll kind of play with this around as we keep going through the stream itself. I do like, of course, being open to things depending on how the game goes. All right, so the good news here is we do have everything now fixed, so it's just great.
Lunar veteran. All right. Okay, now we actually have a really good mana base here. Okay, so with that, we will play our island first. Veteran number 2. They're gaining life. They swing. We're down to 19. Okay, so with that, this is a little painful here, but that's okay. And how do we do this here? I guess we'll wait. Depends on what our opponent's doing. They have Selesnya colors, so I guess they're going to go life gain. Oh, it's an angel deck. Boo. It's an angel deck, everybody. Ugh. So that probably means they should have the Collected Company probably in their hand. We'll see. Okay, Devouring Sugar Maw. We'll block 1 veteran. Take it out. Devouring Sugar Maw number 2 is not bad either. So let's see. How do we do this here? Okay. I think put down the Watery Grave tapped. And we can use Devouring Sugar Maw again. Okay. Splendid Angel already. Blech. Not gonna lie, also, with Foundations I've seen, Angels looks like they're gonna be a bigger threat coming up soon. So that's something to worry about. Okay, our opponent is gaining a lot of life here. Player token there. Okay. Plains. And how do we do this? I guess Sugar Maw. So we have a big threat now. I would love to put down the Mondrak, but I don't know if we're going to have time for that. Our opponent has gone very wide here very quickly. Down to 9. Alright. We will eat our food. Oh, num num num. Okay, so let's see. We just don't have the time, I guess, here. Ouch. So with that, impending, Overlord of the Mistmores. We make our tokens. Oh man, this stinks. We don't have a way. We don't have a way to win here, unfortunately. All right, we'll just quit out this. You know what? Maybe I might switch it up this time. Maybe I might try to do a little best of 3 with this. Yes, I will definitely say I saw the new Kaido. He actually looks really, really good. We might actually go back to doing we haven't done an Explorer yet, an actual like full ninja deck. So we did a Brawl one, and we did a while ago a Historic one. I think we're primed to actually do a full ninja deck for Explorer. So I'm definitely gonna try to see how that works out in the future. All right. I would say we'll give it until the halfway point, so maybe another match or 2. And then we'll probably either jump to either best of 3 style with this deck to see if it does better in best of 3. Or maybe I might consider doing... We might do some more tweaks to the best of 1 version. Oh yes, we have 2 Kaidos now that are actually really, really awesome. That are both playable in the game. So let's see. What do we have here? Okay, so we do have... Okay, how do we do this? I think... on the Godless Shrine first. Oh, Heartfire Hero. Alright, our opponent looks like they're going to try to fling or get super aggro here with us. I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher that. Let's see. Nizazel. Hi. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a great day where you're at. Okay, so we'll block here. Nizazel asking, why does he have 2 Forbidden Doritos in his hand? Oh, well, I'm glad you're doing well. Two Forbidden Doritos? I'm a little confused. Oh, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Let's see. Sorry. Yeah, I'm a little confused. Oh, why does Crawling Horse have 2? Oh, that's a good question. He does kind of look like a Dorito here. Now that you pointed it out, I actually haven't noticed that. Alright. 1 poison counter on our opponent here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, he does kind of look like a really creepy Dorito. I actually do like Doritos personally. The Cooler Ranch ones are absolutely delicious. Those are my favorite. Not the cheesy ones that some people like, but I love that Cooler Ranch. Delicious. Absolutely delicious, by the way. Alright, so I guess we'll have to block here. If our opponent does their fancy tricks, we can at least try to slow them down. Okay, they do it. Monstrous Rage. Okay. We go down to 12. That's okay. Oh, another. Sirky28 saw one of your games on YouTube, and the stream popped up there, so I decided to give a bit of support. I can. Oh, well, thanks for the support. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully, again, you're having a wonderful day where you're at. As you can see right here, I'm doing my best impression of a player that's not the best at this, but we're playing today a little bit of fun flavor with a horror/nightmare deck. Just for the season. It's not very competitive. It's a little pricey also, but I'm having fun with it. Hopefully, again, your day is going well. Nizel, I didn't eat lots of different Doritos. I like sweet chili flavor. Oh, I actually haven't had those ones. How are they? Are they more sweet or are they more chili? I think that was probably the question I would ask. Okay, our opponent right now is getting super buff with their mice here. So we're probably not going to survive much longer here. If they have one more card that pumps... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that might be it for us. Yep. That's okay, everybody. Not a big deal. I wasn't kind of paying attention too much to this match, so that's totally cool. Dense Splendid. We don't have does sadly the ranch ones. Oh man, you are missing out. You got to have those ranch ones. Those are delicious. I absolutely love those ones. Those are my favorites. Okay, so we'll give this one more match, and I think I might jump to best of 3, or I might try to do some tweaks to the deck, because the main deck right now is a little bit slower than what I anticipated, but that's okay. Again, the whole point of the deck was mostly for flavor for the Halloween holiday, not necessarily for competitive. Nizel, sweet, I would say. It's the end. That's why I play Standard Brawl. I can eat aggro decks there. Oh, do you play something... like, what are you playing right now? Are you playing anything like specific that stops aggro? Are you more of a mid-range player, control player, combo player? Let me know. Okay, so going back to the match here. So we don't have the white we need to cast these, but we do have the Wharf Infiltrator, and we do have some removals. So I think we should be okay. Maybe we'll be okay. I don't know. I like to always keep my hands. If you haven't noticed, if you watch my streams a lot, or if you watch my content, I usually don't mulligan too much. Mostly just because I always have this belief that with Best of 1, the way it's designed, they kind of purposely want you to have a certain hand. At least that's how I always feel. Okay, our opponent's got a Pathway land, so with that, we will play our Swamp, and we'll pass. Oh, Wooburg. Zerky, unfortunately, I only started back playing Arena like this month after getting frustrated when it launched, so I can't really do much more than Standard Brawl with my main deck. Yes for everything except aggro. Okay. Honestly, I tend to be myself an aggro player by nature, so most of my stuff tends to focus on me just building a lot of creature and mostly creature decks. That's mostly how I am, but I do play a little bit of everything, because I try to make sure that if I'm going to do content, you have to be a little rounded in order to make sure that you can play a little bit of everything. But if it were up to me, I'm definitely a creature player through and through. But that's good to know that you're also pretty well-rounded on what you play. That's good. Sirki, so if you've only been playing for a month... Oh, our opponent's trying to do the 9 live shenanigans here. Okay. All right, so let's see. How do we do this here? So in that case, I guess we don't care about our life too much. So with that... We'll swing here. We hit them. They get a counter, but they don't take any damage, which is going to be really annoying. I don't know. Can we get out of this? Maybe. We'll see. I guess I would ask you real quick, Sirki. So what are you hoping to build? What are you hoping to play Magic? I mean, I'm sorry to hear that you're a little frustrated with things, but you tell me, what do you like specifically? Or is there anything that you're interested in building in the future? I guess I would mostly ask that. Okay, so let's see. With this, we will play... how do we do this here? All right. We'll make our tokens. Our opponent has not put out their final thing, so we need to go wide. As wide as we can, as fast as we can. We might be able to stop them that way. Maybe. But if they get their other piece out here for this combo... we will not win, because we don't have any main deck stuff unless we get a counterspell. We need a counterspell. That's the only way to get out of this. Well, I'm a player with history. Ask Infernoman. Oh, yes. I know your style, Dense Splendid. I definitely know your style at this point. You have a very specific way of playing the game. Nizazel. I have like 7 board wipes that I can name right now in my Brawl deck. Sirki, if you want, you can add me. You can also brawl, standard brawl together, play. That's cool. You guys totally helping each other out is also nice to see. I like seeing that. I will definitely say, though, don't get too discouraged. And this goes for anybody out there. I mean, you can see, I'm obviously not the best player out there. I'm definitely not competitive. I'm mostly focused on trying to play budget and theme decks every so often. But I also like to play sometimes jank brews like this, even if they are a little pricey. But otherwise, my advice I would mostly give to any players out there is don't get too flustered. Start figuring out, again, what your style of gameplay is. Opponent's playing Get Lost here. Okay. That's annoying. Okay, that's fine. Make some map tokens. This at least means that we can put on our go tier. Okay, so the Witch's Vanity, that doesn't really do anything for us. We'll throw it away. All right. Okay, so with that, 2 tokens each, or 2 counters. Oh, come on, opponents. That's not fun. Yeah, yikes. Okay, so what's our next move here? I guess Devouring Sugar Ball coming in. See, Ashiok might be helpful for us in a bit. Once we can start putting down some more stuff, but we need another land in order for Ashiok to go off here. Okay, Sirki. My main thing is I'm a token player. Started Magic in the first Innistrad, so I started with Black-White Spirits. More meant I can't really build many standard Brawl decks other than main add in Hakal. My frustration was the early arena when mana base was tilting for me. I kept getting heavily mana screwed and flooded every game. Oh yeah, I know how that goes. Sorry to hear that you're not having the best experience like that, but don't worry. Don't get too flustered. There's always a way. Can't give up. I do believe that you'll be fine. Let's see, give me a bit. You can reduce that by playing Surveil Lands and ramp cards. You should try Black-White Bats. Well, I mean, if you did like still the original, what's it called? Sorry, I'm trying to think right now. Also, we're trying to figure out this game. I actually did make a while ago for Historic the Black-White Tokens deck that kind of actually uses some of those old school cards from Innistrad. We might actually reevaluate that again. Oh, let's see. Our opponent here is trying to be a little sneaky here. Well, too bad, opponent. Counterspell. Too bad. You're not going to try to blow this up just yet. No, nope, not yet. Not yet. All right. So, how do we do this? Our opponent here is trying to pull off some sneaky shenanigans here. As you can see, they do use Coveted Falcon here to give us a 9 lives, and they're hoping to make us lose this way. Okay, so let's see. I guess we'll Fatal Push away the face down card. I don't know what it was, but we can get rid of it now. Okay, there's another Coveted Falcon. Phew. Okay. So, let's see. I think we'll do it this way. Throw away the Crawling Course. We need a land. Swing at our opponent here. They don't take any damage, obviously, but they're up to 3 counters. Okay. So, how do we get out of this? Solemnity. Okay. Nobody can get counters. So, if our opponent here is going to try to blow up our board state, and they're going to try to make us lose with 9 lives. Okay. Let's see. Is there a way out of this? We'll play Ashiok. We make a Nightmare. This is actually a really interesting match so far. I'm not sure which way it can go, but we'll see what we can do. Sirki, yeah, it's been a lot better this time around. Took a while for my friends to drag me into playing Arena again due to that bias. I'm slowly working on other historic brawl decks that it's been slow going. Oh, well, if you need a little inspiration, and I'm not going to try to purposely make you do this. Okay. Yeah, our opponent actually did that, and he made us lose. Wow. All right, well done, opponents. Clever. I will give him that. So, let's see. I'm gonna, you know what? Let's try this in best of 3. Maybe this might be a better best of 3 deck than I anticipated. So I'm gonna play this a little bit in best of 3. I usually don't play best of 3 that much because those matches can take a while. But here's how we're gonna do this. So we'll play best of 3 Explorer ranked, and we'll see how well we do. Well, hopefully again, it gets better for you. But if you're interested, most of my streams recently have been all historic Brawl decks. So I would say check out at least a couple of those streams. And if you don't want to watch them, you don't have to. I do leave links for each of those streams deck techs. So if you do want to at least get maybe a deck list that wants to inspire you, I have a ton over the past several months if you want to try to see. If you're interested, of course, in trying out some of those. Some of those Brawl decks I put together are budget, and some of them are non-budget. So it really depends on what your style is. I have a variety, so I'm sure there's something in there that you might enjoy. Just throwing that out there for you, in case if you do want to check out something, and maybe kind of push yourself into something that you might never know you actually like. At least Anim is generally fun to play and quick. He dragged you to hell with him, but you touched him hell, so first you died. Oh yes, that's how it feels. Okay, so with that, it's a slow hand, but we'll keep this because we do have removal. Dense Planet. Oh, some nightmare creatures to run. Psychic Symbiote and Devourer Memory. You know, again, the hard part about this deck was actually trying to maintain a good balance between flavor and power. I will definitely say that this deck has some good options, but the hard part about it is trying to figure out which way you want to go. If we went control one way, it would have been a little too much just because the problem is just the deck doesn't do enough on one hand. On the other, the deck's biggest advantage that we have is, I'll take that out, so Scar Mage. The biggest advantage this deck has is it does have a variety of options. So we'll see. Our opponent's playing mono red. Okay, so they're playing Slick Shot Show Off. Get a food. We'll play a Swamp. Play Crawling Chorus. Let me pass. Okay, so let's see. It's been a while since I played best of 3, so I don't know what the meta is. I don't know how much more different it is than other things out there. But we'll see how we go. Opponent goes swinging. Come on, opponent. Nope, nothing. Down to 19. All right, that's fine. We have Fear of Imposters, which is nice. Wizard's Lightning. All right. Fear of Imposters. Do you get countered here, opponent? We'll see. Let's see. Here's Zell. I think I'm too in love with Wooburg to play anything else. So versatile. You're getting aggroed even in best of 3. Yeah. I usually don't see Slick Shot Show Off that much in best of 3. I'm actually kind of surprised. So, if our opponent wants to blow this up, they can. They don't. Okay. So here's how we do this. So we got the Swamp. So we do have Fatal Push ready in the wings in case. We're going to hold off for a second because I want to see if they blow their whole hand. Okay, nothing yet. Opponent's turn. I have been looking at also a possible Slick Shot Show Off deck for Timeless. Now that Leyline, now that red Leyline got banned in standard best of 1, I'm thinking of maybe something else for a more powerful format. I don't know. We'll think about how that goes. Okay, so we'll make a token. Ping our opponent for 1. All right, Crawling Course again. Bloom Lake Verge, Crawling Chorus. I'm still waiting for our opponent to start blowing up the rest of the board, or at least trying to see how fast they can pump. We'll see what they do. Wizard's Lightning. And at the very least, if they're doing this, that means that they're not taking full damage with Slick Shot Show Off. So this kind of helps us out a little bit here. We also have a food to stabilize if we need to. Actually, it's been a while since we've actually played also a full 5-color deck. I do have a couple of 5-color decks. For those of you that stick around to the very end of the stream, I do actually have a couple of previews for maybe some future 5-color decks out there. So stick around. We might actually have something fun waiting in the future. No attacks yet. Okay, opponent. Soak is in. All right, so in that case then, Fatal Push now. That's gone. I was going to try to go wide, I guess, with some tokens. Okay. Go for more of a tempo control build. You know, good. That's a good point, Dense Planet. I mean, originally I had a version like that in this deck, but the issue was it felt not, I guess it just didn't, the flavor was not there for the deck. So that's kind of why I shied away from it. But we can look at maybe a control build and only stick to maybe like a couple of key horrors and nightmares for the deck. Something to think about. Light up the stage. Okay, so our opponent is now going deep here. They really need to pull something out if they want to try to beat us here. They got another light up stage and skewer the critics. They won't get value out of those if they end up not hitting their spectacle. Alright. Witch's Vanity. Well, that's not ideal, but we can still use it. Alright, we'll take out one token. Okay. Since this one can't really block anyway, I'm just going to swing with one of our mites. Okay. Do you block opponent? Oh, they do block. Okay. That's fine. Do they pump it? Oh, they do pump it. All right. Well, I guess we'll just take it out. Okay, so that's one pump spell wasted. I guess that's good for us. 2 cards in hand, opponent, and you have 2 more here. So light up the stage again. They get their land drop. Do you only play Brawl, or do you sometimes do Standard Brawl? So, good question on that one. So right now, most of my focus is just actual full Brawl. And the reason for that is those cards can be converted, or at least those decks, I should say, can be converted to Commander. So that's the reason why I play regular Brawl, is because I want to make sure that if anybody is interested, they can actually build it in paper and take it into like a Commander deck like format. And maybe there's where they can probably get a little bit more value out of it. So that's honestly why I designed those decks the way I do. Good question on that one. I actually haven't played Standard Brawl in a long time. I don't know if anybody actually did play it, because I originally have done a couple of videos that I kind of designed originally, but the issue was nobody really cared about that. So I kind of stopped. Okay, Wharf Infiltrator. So this can help us go wide if we can at least get it to stick. The only awkward part is Monastery Swift Spear is a power 1, so Wharf will not push through that. Well, we'll see what we can do here. Swing with her might. Oh, wow. They actually turned that on? Are they going to block with it? Wow, they actually block with it, too. Do they have a pump spell? They don't. That's a bold move, opponent. That's a whole creature spell you lost. Okay. But, I mean, that's fine if they want to do it that way. They have plenty of lands. 3 cards in hand. Skewer the critics. So we lose our Infiltrator. But it's okay. Play with fire. Alright. That's down. It's okay. We still got time, everybody. We still got time. We'll eat 1 food. Just to kind of feel like they didn't really do that much damage to us. We're up to 21. Again, sweat it. Yeah, go for those tempo plays, and you have Ashiok for pressure. I mean, you're not wrong on that one. That'll be something maybe to think about. Maybe if we tweak this a little bit more. I don't know. Like, I guess I would have to think more about this one. Like, the deck, from what I'm seeing right now, now that we've been playing for this for about, honestly, like an hour now, the deck does have some rough spots. So I think it's going to be something that I'll kind of have to like look at in the future. Put the island down. We'll pass. I want our opponent to kind of, they got 2 cards in hand right now. If they can just blow the rest of their hand and start top decking, we might have a shot here. If we can just get to our finisher. That's all we need. Just our finisher. Oh, are they going to pump? All right, they get pump. All right, opponent, do it. I dare you. Come on, opponent. You know you want to. Okay, I think it's probably as good as it's going to get. So we'll discard a card here. Throw away a Watery Grave. Okay, Whew, 5 damage prevented. Okay, so we're still in great shape here. It's going to be a slow match, but hey, that's how it goes. All right, turn. Come on, deck. Oh, here we go. Now we're talking. All right, so with this, I'll go full price. Our opponent has no way of stopping Overlord of the Mistmords. Yes, there we go. Our finisher. Do you have an answer for the Overlord opponents? Scary, isn't it? While our opponent is trying to think about that, let me see. Cirky, I swear, Niz, I misclicked so much during these friendly setups. There we go. Our opponent has had enough. All right, so now we go to sideboard. Wow, it's been a while since I've actually had the sideboard in a match. Okay, so our opponent is playing a lot of... They're playing super aggro here. The Supreme Verdicts are tempting because of what they do, but we want the No More Lies because they're going to be low to the ground. So we need to adjust this a little bit here. So what do we get rid of? What is too slow for our deck? And we just need to focus mostly on removal. So Woe Strider is probably going to go. That's a little too slow for us. Put in the No More Lies. We need some counter spells. I don't know. I guess Duress is probably going to be our best shot here. Nizel, I'm going to get destroyed if I took a deck that should have stayed in the closet. Let's go. All right. Let's see. We want removal up the wazoo here and a way to kind of go wide. So Mondrak is nice, but he's too slow also for the deck. Devouring Sugar Bomb we'll keep those. Let's see. I guess we'll bring in the Duresses. And then from there, what do we cut? I guess cut one Devouring Sugar Maw. I guess that should be okay, right? Yeah, we'll keep that. Okay. All right, so the game plan is using our Duresses to kind of strip our opponent's hand. We can then bounce things away with our tempo plays. We have a lot more removal in the deck, and we have some counter spells. So this should be good. All right, so a little slow against us. We'll keep still because with the creatures, I know our opponent will be tempted to kind of blow those up. All right. Soulscar Mage to start. We have Ashiok. Put down the Raffine's Tower. So, Wharf Infiltrator will have to chump block for a turn, while our opponent just does their thing. We go to 19. Alright, Slickshot Show-Off is coming, so we're going to have to be ready for that. Wharf Infiltrator. So we have the Fading Hope, which is nice. This will help us, of course, bounce away things when Slickshot Show-Off goes off here. Play with fire, as predicted. Alright, we're going to take 5 damage here. Maybe more if they have another pump spell. Do you have another answer, opponent? Oh, they do. Alright, it's going to hurt. Down to 8. Okay. Godless Shrine. This is also kind of where a Shocklands hurt us more, is when we have a deck like this. Because we don't have too many answers against stuff here without taking some damage. Okay, so. Alright, opponent's got 3 more cards in hand. Do they have an answer? Alright. Block here. Fading Hope. Bounce away. Watery Grave we don't need. Okay. We're still at 6. Our opponent is going to plot again. Slickshot Show-Off. Okay, so we have the Bitter Triumph, which is not bad either. Tapped. And we pass. Okay, so if our opponent plays Slickshot Show-Off, we can then counterspell with Fear of Imposters. Right. Slow them down. That's the game plan here. Even if they manifest, it still buys us time. That's what we need. And we can still block them for a bit against the Soulscar Mage. Alright, opponent. 4 cards in hand. More removal. Rending Volley. Yep. That does hurt. But is it enough? Okay. We'll see. Light of the stage. They get a chance to refuel. Okay. Get 2 Lava Runner. Soulscar Mage again. Okay, so our opponent has most of their hand done at this point. Let's see. Is there a way out of this? Devouring Sugar Mod does block them pretty hard. But, okay, I think Infiltrator. And then we'll use Bitter Triumph to then slow them down a bit more. Get to Lava Runner. They can go wide here. Walk here. Okay, and then with this, eat the food. Down to 3. Rampaging Ferocidon. Okay. So with that, I think they got us here. Dang. I mean, I could still throw away the Infiltrator. That's not enough. Yep. All right, they got us there. That's okay. We're gonna go now to game 3. Okay, so with what we've seen so far, this Fracture won't do anything with us. I'm not sure. Overcharged Amalgam might be a little too expensive. We don't want to lose creatures either. I think we're just going to have to run it as is. There's not much else we can do here. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's try this again. All right. Game 3. Game 3 of this match. Can we get the win? That's the big question today. We will play first. All right. This does not help us with our game plan, so we'll roll again. We have some removal. Okay. I think this might be it. We'll put away Ashiok. We should be good from there. Okay, Ashiok goes bye-bye. Raffine's Tower. Do you think we should have gotten the Verdict? I don't know. I always feel like the Verdict might be too slow for this deck. But I guess we'll find out here. So, Warth Infiltrator. Alright, opponents. What you bringing in? Alright, Mountain. Kumamo again. Another ping. Skewer the Critter. Wow. Okay. I mean, that's helpful for us a little bit. So with that, Watery Grave. And we'll pass. Maybe you were right, Dense Lennon, but okay, we'll see. We'll see if this is something we can push through. Alright. Fatal Push. Opponents, Rampaging Ferocidon. At the very least, we have an answer for that, so that's not horrible against us. Actually, hold on. Hold on. Okay, so with that, Island, and pass. We need to wait for a moment here, because I want them to ping themselves. This may look a little painful right now, but actually, we're going to do it this way. So we discard. Throw away the Crawling Chorus. Alright. Phew. We'll only take 2 here, which is okay. Light up the stage. Wow, they actually have better card draw than we do. Flick Shot you off again. Another Fatal Push is good. Etching of Kumamo. It may have been more tempting to do on the slow show off here, but I want to pressure them to make them start burning up all of their pump spells. Doing it this way does buy us time. Rampaging Ferocidon again. Duress. Make a food. Let's get a peeky peek at them. Okay, wow, it's all just remove. Okay. Wizard's Lightning gone. Okay, so we do know now that we have a little bit of burn spells to worry about. Eat the food. Oh, that's right. I'm dumb. I forgot about that. Down to 11. Okay. Well. How do we do this? Oh, we got another Fatal Push. So that means Ferocidon can go bye-bye. Okay. Well, I kind of messed up on the food there, so that was a horrible misplay on my part there. I shouldn't have done that. But see, again, this is why I said I'm not the best when it comes to magic. But I try. Okay, opponent. Come on, burn up those burn spells. Pump spell even. Play with fire. Down to 9. Opponent will scry. Play with fire again. Okay. What is your last card, opponent? Do I need... Let's see. Do I need to hit you now? I guess we'll do it now. Alright, Slick Shot Show Off. Gone. Okay. Whew. Crawling Chorus. Not quite it, but I'll take it. Put something down to start threatening our opponent on the board. Okay. Well, we're getting down to the wire here. We have 7 life. Opponent has Rampaging Ferocidon. Okay, a Duress. I guess I'll just use it. Is it a burn spell? Oh, it is a burn spell. Alright, down to 5. No attacks. Man. Well, that's pretty much it. We're top deck mode now. And I don't know if we're going to be able to survive at this point. So this is not looking good. No, there it was. Alright. Well, they got through us. Mono red beats us here. That's okay. I'm usually a mono red burn player myself, but man, they actually beat us there. So kudos to them. I'll give them that. Good game, at least. Good game. Okay. So let's go ahead. We're going to continue on. I guess we'll just play best of 3 now at this point. I kind of like where we're at in terms of this. But here, I'll do one small little tweak I mentioned. For flavor purposes, since Dense Planet, you did bring it up, let's actually do one quick little change that you kind of mentioned that I kind of like, which will be the go for the throat for the other option there. Let's see, where's that card at? Where is it at? Where's it at? Where's that? Wait, it should be right there. There it is. Okay. So, Bitter Triumph. We're not dealing with too many Planeswalkers these days anyway, so I think that might be better for us. Wait, hold on. That's all one extra card I put in there. Didn't mean to. Okay, Banalish Sleeper. Sorry. That's okay. Okay, let's try this again. Best of 3. Let's see if we can get our next set of wins. Also, since we're already past the halfway point here, if you do like any of the content that I do, if you are a fan of budget decks out there, jank decks, just plain fun, themed, flavorful goodness, be sure to give a like, follow, and subscribe if you haven't done so already, so that way you don't miss on any of the gameplay, booster pack openings we do, and so much more. I will put up, of course, our next set of stuff coming out for the next couple days. I'm also working on our next video as we speak. It's going to take a little bit of time, and it's actually a little bit off the beaten path. Normally I focus on deck text, but sometimes I do commentary. So I have a commentary video I'm going to be rolling out soon. Mostly it's just going to be focused on what is coming in 2025 for Magic. There is quite a few changes that I know have been stirring up the community quite a bit. So I'll mostly ask it here briefly. What are your thoughts right now on 2025 with Universes Beyond coming to Magic? What are your thoughts on the fact that we're going to be getting a lot more IPs mixed in with regular Magic stuff? I would love to hear from all of you about that. It's been a very interesting topic. I will definitely say that for sure. So let's see. We got our Fatal Push here for removal. We got counter spells with Fear of Imposters if we need to. If we can get at least another blue or white source, we can start casting all the rest of our cards here. That'll be nice. Okay, opponent is still taking time to think about what they want. That's fine. Come on, opponent. What do you got? Take your time, of course. It's okay. It's not like I have anything else going on. Anytime now. Also, again, for those of you who haven't already done so, you can also join our Discord, where we do have a couple of nice, fun discussions there. It's not the most high... If you're looking for a more chill Discord, which is a little more slow going, definitely check us out there. It moves slow, but at least this way you can kind of keep up with everyone. It is a slowly growing community. fiery friends that I like to put together. We can discuss all kinds of things there. It doesn't always have to be Magic. It can be anything else you'd like. We have plenty of things we can kind of go over. But otherwise, I guess another question I would ask all of you is, what else do you play besides Magic? Are there other games out there that you enjoy? Are you going in between this game and other games? Are you a digital player like I am mostly? Do you play paper? I actually do have some paper decks. At some point I will put those out there. I will make videos on my paper decks, but I'll put those probably up first on Patreon before I move them over to regular YouTube. If you do want to see extra content that I do also have a Patreon where I also cover pretty much everything, like anything left over. Sometimes bonus videos, random commentary I have, sometimes early previews on future videos and stuff like that. They all go up there. So if you want to check out all that stuff ahead of time, be sure to do so. I'd appreciate it. Let's see, Dense Planet. Okay, our opponent is just not there, I guess, but okay. Swamp. All right, opponent, if you're there, I'm still ready to play. Dense Planet. You know what? How about some experimental augury card selection and to boost an Ashiok? You really are giving me an idea that maybe we should try to look at Ashiok again in the future. I do want to start prepping, of course, for Foundation because there is a lot of awesome cards in there, a lot of good stuff for budget players. So I'm really looking forward to kind of start building again for more budget decks out there. We also do need to finish our Basically series because we're going to get close to the end of those on 3 colors. But what if we find a way to make budget 4 and 5 color decks? Maybe we might do that. Let me know if you're interested, of course, in seeing the Ultra Budget series continue with, again, 4 and 5 color decks. See, Nizazel, also, you play StarCraft 2, HOTS, and MTG Arena mostly. Okay, that's cool. Do you consider yourself a person that's all about strategy then? Do you like, of course, playing games that require you to kind of think about your plays? Okay, I don't know where our opponent is, but I guess we'll just kind of play the game as is. I have no idea what they're doing, but okay. We also have plenty of Fear of Imposters, but if our opponent is not there, I don't think we're going to need them. I still don't know, because our opponent, I mean, you can see they're here. Okay, now they started playing. Okay. I guess I'll play a Crawling Chorus. I'll pass. Opponents, what do you got? Fatal Push. If they want to, that's fine. Still get a token out of it. Nizazel. I like, and on the opposite side, I can't aim. First-person shooters are my nemesis. Oh. Well, believe it or not, there was at one point one of my very first iterations of, like, content here besides, because I used to also do primarily Pokemon, but then I kind of played around with, Call of Duty for a little bit. This was like 2009, 2010 to 2011. But, it didn't quite work out as I expected, so... So we're going to counterspell that. Not for any reason except I just wanted to start putting some more pressure on the board. And we'll blow up that face down card too. Okay. So with that, our opponent is definitely playing some kind of Rakdos mid-range sacrifice deck. But we'll see where that goes. Tapped. Do you have more removal opponents? Dense Planet, besides Arena, Legends of Runeterra, Hearthstone, Borderlands, and Roblox. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know if we had that conversation already, Dense Planet, where you mentioned Roblox already. I don't know, like, the young kids are definitely into the Roblox and the, I don't know. Are y'all still into Minecraft? Is anybody still into I know Minecraft is big, but I mean, like, I don't know anybody directly that plays Minecraft except for, like, the younger set and Roblox. I know Roblox is massive. I greatly underestimated how big that franchise was. But, yeah, I know definitely you also like the other digital card games out there. So, Borderlands is also fun, too. But, yeah, I know we discussed it earlier, but, man, that movie was terrible. Obviously didn't see it, but, geez, that movie was just a great disappointment for the franchise. Nizazel, I play Minecraft. Sirki, I play Minecraft on occasion, but rarely. Mostly play Timberborn. I actually never heard of that one. What is Timberborn? Give me a heads up on what is that? I would look it up right now, but I'm of course in the middle of a match. Okay, I guess our opponent is a mid-range deck. Regular Bankbuster again. Okay. Opponent is definitely trying to get some value out of their things here, but okay, so we have enough now where we can also play our 2 Fear of Imposters we need to back-to-back. Beaver Civilization Builder. Oh. That sounds kind of fun. There's also, there's a TCG card simulator that I was going to play with, and I was probably going to do some bonus content with just for just for hilarity's sake. Like, I thought, like, well, if I can't be good at Magic, if I can't be good at trading card games, maybe I can be, I don't know, I can run a simulation of my own fun goofiness. Sheoldred's Edict. All right. This time we'll just we'll let them sacrifice. I guess we'll sacrifice the Might token. Down to 11. Okay, opponent. What do you got? We'll put down the Crawling Chorus a little bit later on. I want to see if they empty their hand. Invoke Despair. Well, we can't have that. So we counterspell that. Phew, that was too close. I was playing Minecraft, but Borderlands 4 is still one chance to turn around. Yeah, I would like to be hopeful that Borderlands 4 could turn the franchise back, but we'll see. Okay, so we got our Go for the Throw, which is nice. Face down card, say bye-bye. Okay, let's see. Actually, we'll wait. Down to 4. All right, deck's doing it. And also, we have like one more turn or so until the Overlord now becomes a creature. Can we get there? Let's see. Well, they can Thoughtseize if they want to. I don't really care. That puts them down to 2. Opponents? Invoke Despair. Okay, I guess we'll do it now. We will sacrifice Fear of Imposters. We do lose our Overlord, but that's okay, because they are tapped out, so this is game. Alright. We take that one. Nice. Alright, let's go now to game 2. Okay, so for sure we're going to definitely use those Fractures. We're going to use our No More Lies. Our opponent is going to have to deal with our Duresses. So with this, what do we get rid of? I guess it's going to have to cut out Mondrak again. We will... I want to keep the Devouring Sugar Maws, but I don't know if that's going to be viable for us. Or maybe take out the Wharf Infiltrator. Or at least maybe cut down... Yeah, we'll cut down all of them. They're mostly playing a controlling mid-range build. So we want to make sure we have what we need to stop those things. Let's see. Do we want regular Ashiok? I don't think we need to. Supreme Verdict? I don't know. Oh, Dense Money. Also, speaking of games, Soul Knight, Plants vs. Zombie 2, Plants vs. Zombie, Heroes and Dead Ahead, Zombie Warfare. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know you're big on zombies. We do need to build a new zombies deck. Once we get to Foundations, I do want to circle back to around a lot of the creature decks that we built a while ago and then breathe new life into them. So a brand new Goblin deck, a brand new Elf deck, a brand new Zombie deck. I think we'll have a lot to work with this upcoming set. So I'm actually really excited to see what Foundations can help us kind of build for future budget decks. And of course, we'll be building more for the stream. We're obviously going to have a couple weeks where we won't really have much. So I'm probably going to jump back into other formats and kind of show off some other decks that I've been meaning to do. But we'll see what we can stir up for the future. Oh, we got to cut 2 more cards. Okay. I guess one Devouring Sugar Maw can go bye-bye. And, okay, what else do we cut here? I want to keep the Overlords. And I guess we'll just cut, I don't know, maybe another Woe Strider. We'll see how that works. Okay. So at least with this build, since our opponent's not very creature-heavy, we can mostly just focus on just keeping our spot removal and just move in a little bit more of the other stuff. Let's see if this is enough against our opponent. Dense One. I feel like Mondrak is kind of pointless, I'll be frank with you. Well, I still appreciate you being direct. Yeah. I wanted Mondrak to do cool stuff, but maybe he's not quite what this deck wants. Maybe I should put it, I don't know, maybe those overcharged amalgams maybe might have been better for us, because we also have a creature and a counterspell out of that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll definitely talk about that, of course, in the deck wrap-up. Opponent's got their Duress. Are they going to throw away our Duress then? They do. Oh, well. We still got a duress anyway. So too bad, opponent. Gonna take a peeky peek. See what you got. Throw away that Record Bank Buster. Okay, so they have Shieldred coming up. Thankfully, though, we have Fear of Imposters, so we can throw that away once the time comes. On the other hand, we probably might want to get spot removal to deal with Shieldred. So we do have Go for the Throat. Oh, come on. Really? They actually drew another one? That's annoying. But, I mean, it didn't really hurt us, so I guess it's fine. So with that. Or more interaction for the matter. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Maybe I should have put in more interaction for this deck. But hey, the whole point, of course, is just to have something fun and flavorful. So I wasn't really... I guess you can definitely tell. It's not optimized. I don't know. Sometimes I do admit my gimmicks do go a little too far at times. But I try to see if I can make something work every so often. Whoa, Strider. Make a goat. Down to 19. So with this... Shieldred's coming in, no surprise there. Alright, they draw. Okay, Gloom Lake Verge is nice too. So with that, Devouring Sugar Bomb, our big chunky donuts. Opponent's gonna gain some life. If they don't have removal, then we can really push through with Devouring Sugar Bomb here. Swing opponent? Nope. So we will eat our food. Oh, num 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 num. Num 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 num. We'll draw. Woe Strider again. That's actually not too bad. We do need the tokens. Put down the Swamp. We'll put down Crawling Chorus. We swing here. Can our Sugar Maw get us through? They can't. They have to. Okay, wow. They actually did damage. 15. All right. They will gain life back, which is going to be very annoying, but we do have a way to push through. All right. They gain life. Again. Let's see, I agree. It's definitely hard to stay on theme and make the deck somewhat decent. Yeah, that's also one of those things that's kind of annoying and unfortunate, but sometimes I'm willing to sacrifice practicality for fun. I mean, that's the whole reason why I like doing what I do. I like to have fun with my decks, even if they're not the best. So I do appreciate that. I know some of you may not see me as, like, the most amazing competitive person, but I do like to have fun with our deck techs. Face down card. Okay, we might have to start sacrificing a little bit here and there just to push through, or at least get some spot removal. If we can get rid of that Shielder, we'll be in business. So, Crawling Course dies. We don't need a Swamp. Okay, let us sacrifice again the Goat. Actually, no, we'll sacrifice the Might since it can't block anyway. Okay, there we go. That's our ticket, everybody. So we will eat our Goat. Oh, num num num. Okay, we're gonna draw here. And Fatal push away Shieldred. Bye-bye, Shieldred. Woo! Alright. Much better. Swing with Devouring Sugar Maw. You have to block with both opponents. And we can still have Trample, so that's actually great. So now the pressure is on for our opponent. Now we're in business. Whoa, Strider. Because we need those tokens. Alright. They will flip. Okay, just a land. Alright. Well, now this is going to be a game of attrition here. Our opponent will turn on their Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Alright, so with that, they will eat something. Fear of Imposters is, like, honestly an underrated card. It definitely saved you many times. Yes. Surprisingly, I know most people are like, well, it gives your opponent a creature, but honestly, for a deck like this, you don't really care too much about the creatures because you still want to provide at least some way of pushing through things. I think. Okay. Okay. I think we have to block with both here. Okay. One thing will die, but Hive of the Eye Tyrant will go bye-bye. We want to make sure that we can start pushing through damage. So with that, Fear of Imposters dies now. We have another one, so I guess that's fine. Alright. Phew. Okay. We will eat another goat. Put pressure on our opponent here. We will escape. Make another goat. Devouring Sugar Maw. Do you block with all three opponents? That's the question here. Nizazel. I love Fear of Imposters. It even mills the opponent. Yes, it does. It's actually a very underrated card. I actually really like what this card does. Okay, opponent, you're at 7. And we have now a Woe Strider, and we have enough to block for a bit longer. As long as they don't pull another Shieldred, we should be good to go here. Opponent? Okay. We will eat another goat. Oh, num, 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 num. Godless Shrine. Okay, so. How do we do this here? Oh, there we go. Our opponent has had enough. Yes! Nice! Alright, we got our win there, everybody. Alright, we got our best of 3 there. Woo! Looking good, looking good. Alright, so if we do one more best of 3, this might be the final one for today. As much as I'd like to continually stream, as always, as I mentioned before on every one of my streams, I, of course, have a big boy job. I don't make enough or really at all on streams or content to at least sustain myself for now. I will hopefully try to keep building myself up in the hopes that maybe we can someday do this at least for enough money where I can just focus on playing content and having fun with all y'all. But of course, until then, I will have to keep a big boy, consistent grown-up job. So until then, that does mean that the stream will be ending eventually, soon, but not yet. So we're going to try to see maybe if we can get at least one more victory today. And hopefully, well, that'll probably be the end of it for today. Because afterwards, I got to get ready for that job. But thanks again, everybody, for here today. Thank you to our new friends who have joined us today. So shout out to you, Nizazel. Thanks as always, Den Splendid, for always being there for me. And Serki, if you're still there, thanks again also for joining us today for our new fiery friends. I do enjoy doing these small streams. I would like to hopefully see if maybe we can increase the stream maybe to 2 a week in the future, but we'll see what we can do. So with that, let us play Watery Grave, Shocked, just in case they have a creature. Why do I need a job? I'm just a fire? Well, let me put it this way. Fires eventually, I guess I'll say fires sometimes do go out. So in order for us to keep the light on, so to speak, this little fireball still needs at least some fuel. I mean, of course, as a fireball, I mean, I need still some way to keep the wick burning. So that's why I gotta have something to maintain. So that's why this little fireball still has to have at least some kind of day job, if you will. Good question, though. Alright, we'll get rid of Gifted Aetherborn with the Witch's Vanity. We will play... How do we do this here? I guess... Graphene's Tower. Swing. Can't trigger anything, but that's okay. We'll just decline for now. Go into a forest. No job required. Streamer's probably working as a flame at the pizza oven. Actually, fun fact for all of you, I actually did used to deliver pizzas back in the day. That was actually one of my first jobs. So yeah, that's actually that is on flavor for me. I used to actually do pizza deliveries, and I actually used to work the oven. So it was a thing I did. Siphon Insight. Okay, opponent is trying to be a little sneakity snackety here. They're gonna try to look at our stuff and try to steal something. I don't like stealing. Stealing is wrong, kids. Don't steal. Don't steal. Alright, so they take something from us. But we get to put down at least our Overlord. So the clock is now ticking against our opponent here. We will decline for now. Impending now ticks down to 3. Okay, so we got our clock on our opponent here. We eventually have everything set up to go. They are, however, playing Dimir, so we will need to be mindful again of what they are trying to stop us with. Okay, we'll put a Wicked Roll token on... Okay, I guess we'll put it on the... Actually, we'll put it on one of the tokens. So if it does die, it dies. It's not a big deal for us. Let's see. Watery Grave. Since our opponent's not really doing any attacking, I want to make sure we have enough mana to do our things. Alright, opponents. Down to 12. Do we do this here? I guess we'll do it this time. We'll draw. Another Overlord. I guess we'll throw away Woe Strider for now. And then we can pay 2. Take a token. Okay, so this is the go wide strategy. Opponent's going to deduce. Oh, okay. Well, they sacrifice. Wow, okay. Nezazel, don't. He will burn down everything. Counterspell with counter imposter? Yes. Okay, so that's why I didn't want to do that. Okay, so here we go. Fear of imposters. Stop the wrath. Woo! Too close. Oh, wow. All right, here we go. Stop the wrath, and they're like, no more, thank you. Okay, so now that we kind of have an idea of what our opponent's going to try to do here, let's see, how do we get around this? Well, definitely we're going to throw in the duresses. That's what we need. I think Overcharged Amalgam might replace Mondrak here. Oh, I see, hold on. That gives us at least some kind of extra option there for more counter spells. No more Lyses coming in. Let's see. Do we want Fracture? We didn't really see much for if they have that, but on the other hand, I feel like they might. I don't know. I want to keep Ashiok and Overlord as our finishers. We definitely want those. I don't know if Devouring Sugar Mom might be enough for us. That might be too much of an investment considering the payoff. So I think we'll cut those. As much as I wanted to keep them, we're going to have to cut those. Let's see. Keep the Woe Striders. Maybe the Witch's Vanity. I don't know. That's tough. They did have a couple creatures, but not enough for us to like get a real feel for it. Maybe like, I don't know, down to one Woe Strider here, and then maybe one Witch's Vanity. Okay, let's try it like that. We didn't get a chance to see completely their whole deck, but it might be enough for us with what we have. Okay. Either way, we're still going to have fun with this, no matter what. Okay, so we did get our Duress in hand. We have our Fatal Push for the opening part, Overcharged Amalgam, which we can use sacrificing Fear. Overlord is slow. We don't have the mana for it, but we want to keep this hand because we have everything else we need to kind of slow down our opponent here. Swamp. Let's get a peeky peek. What do you got, opponent? Ooh, okay. So, Thoughtseize. That's got to go. They have 2 Infernal Grasps. So I'm not too worried now. Let's see. We will wait a moment. I want to see if they play a creature. Swamp? Champion of Wits. Okay, so we can't do anything about that just yet. But we will try. Alright. Fear of Imposters. Not what we needed just yet, but we'll see. First off, let's peek again. Okay, nothing there, unfortunately. Oh, okay, it's a Scarab God. Oh, okay. So I don't think if we lose this one, at the very least now we know we need to pull in Graveyard Hate. So we need to pull in 3-drop Ashiok for the deck. Something to think about, again, if we go to Game 3. Champion of Wits. And considering what they have, maybe we should have put in the Wrath instead. Okay, I have a better idea of what we're going to try to do if we go to Game 3. Sirki complaining about flooding is a lie, confirmed by my experience against him. Oh, did you just play against him? Well, I mean, that's kind of how it is sometimes. I mean, you feel like the whole game is just purposely flooding against you. Alright, so our opponent threw away some more stuff. So at least we're getting now some more info on their deck. So, okay, so it looks like it's a mid-range deck primarily. Okay, so what we ended up dealing with was I thought it was a control deck with some creatures, but it looks like it's actually more creature-focused than I thought. So, knowing this, we know kind of now what we need to anticipate for this next part here. Okay, down to 14. Okay, so we can't have that resolved, so Scarab God's got to go bye-bye. Counterspell that. Phew. Okay, so since it was counterspelled, it cannot bounce back to their deck, so that gives us a little bit of time to work with. Let's see. Scarab is spooky, be careful. Yeah, he has infinite RNG on his side right now. Oh yeah. Sometimes you feel like the RNG gods are on your side, and then sometimes you just get nothing. But that's how it goes sometimes when it comes to the game. Let's see. How do we want to do this here? I think Woe Strider. So we have some blockers. Got our goat. Pass. Okay. I did say that was the game launched and my Greta deck got flooded bad. I drew like 6 more mana than I needed. If you can use your whole mana each turn, you're not flooded. I mean, you're not wrong. That's kind of how it is sometimes, I swear. Let's see. We'll strike here. We'll block with everything. But the way we'll do this is we will sacrifice the goat. Let's see what we get. We're going to scry. Okay, no more lies. Do we want that? I don't know. I think we might. Alright. Okay, so those go to the graveyard. Champion of Wits goes bye-bye. And then from here... Okay, we're just going to have to wait it out a bit. Just to see what our opponent's going to try to do. I actually was not thinking they were a creature deck. So that was actually my surprise. Okay, so with that, okay, take out that face down creature. Assuming it's not anything else. Okay. Phew. Okay, so it's just land. So we will lose here one of our lands, but we get a plains out of it. So it's not the worst. I wonder if 60 card Greta would work. They're Dimir Zombies? Yeah, I think they're a Dimir Zombies deck, so that's kind of what they are. Alright, they go down to 15 to draw a card. Okay, so then with that, they're going to Eternalize, if I'm guessing. Okay, and then with that, well, we can't really do anything against that. So, they draw 4, and they have to discard. Well, now that we know that they're Dimir Zombies, I have a game plan for that if we, again, do lose this match. I think, yeah, we're going to have to pull in 3-drop Ashiok and then force them to just exile everything. It won't do the full thing, but it will be at least enough where we can kind of slow them down. Okay, Gloomlake Verge. Okay, so with that, we exile some stuff and escape. Make a goat. And we pass here. Okay, opponent. You're at 15, we're at 14. This could still be anyone's match, and this is only game 2 of 3. Graveyard Trespasser. Okay. So they do have their own graveyard hate. Well, it's a good thing we actually pulled in the Woe Strider now, so now we at least have some value against our opponent. Do they have any more answers, though? Okay, tap land, Halls of Storm Giants. Nothing against us. Okay, that's fine. Go for the Throat. Do we want to keep that? I think we might have to. Okay, so with that, no attacks yet. Okay, come on, opponents. Do you have an answer? Brazen Borrower. Okay. Do we... Okay, I think we'll do it this way. Overcharged Amalgam. Opponents? Ow, they have the Mystical Dispute. Alright. Ow. So that means they bounce away our thing. Wow, they actually had us prepared there. Okay, I see something. I will go there, play some HOTS with friends, have fun on the counterspell stack. KK, have fun. Right. Okay, opponent here is trying to hit us here pretty hard. I'll block with a goat just to go down to 10. Ouch. Okay, and they flip into their werewolf side, so oh boy. I guess we'll have to wait it out here. Nizazel, good stream and good night. Oh, well, thanks again for joining us also, Nizazel. I appreciate you being here. Take care. We'll see you again, hopefully maybe another time. Maybe next week when I'm back on stream. Take care. Have a good night. Meanwhile, go back to our match here. Okay, they have another Champion of Wits. They have 2 cards in hand. Is there any way out of this? Okay, we will just do this now. We have to discard a card. Wait, no, hold on. Wait, yes. I guess we'll throw away... No, hold on. Yeah, throw away the Woe Strider. So, I realized I probably should have let that resolve first, the ability. Oh boy. Alright, so that means... Oh, actually didn't resolve. Okay, whew. Well, that was good. Okay, so we're not dead yet, but we are close to the end here. Down to 3. At least I'll have some other 60-card decks built from my other scrap next time. Wait, does this work this way? It's an ability, right? It's not a counterspell. Oh. Never mind. They already counterspelled us anyway, so... That's annoying. That's okay. That's okay. How much time is left on this match? Okay, so we both have a lot of time, actually. We're pretty quick, at least, on both playing, so I'll give my credit to our opponent there. Either way, win or lose, this will be our final one. We just got to get through this whole match here, and then we'll kind of do a quick little wrap of everything to see how well everything kind of turned out. Grafdigger's Cage. Okay, so our opponent here is also playing their own shenanigans, but it's okay. We'll find a way around this. So they do the thing. At this point, all I can do is just get rid of the token. Okay. And then, even if I do block here, yeah, they have Mystical Dispute. All right. Well, okay, opponent, you got us here. We now go to game 3. This will be the final one, everybody. Win or lose. But the good news is now I have a much better idea of what our opponent is doing. So, with that, what we need to do is bring in Supreme Verdicts. That's for sure. Ashiok's definitely coming in. Little Ashiok. I think... I want to keep Big Ashiok here, and I want to keep the Overlord. So I think at this point, we need to cut back on the stuff that... Let's see. Woe Strider... I want to keep the Woe Striders. Okay, so Wharf Infiltrators is going out. That doesn't do much for us. We want to try to focus more on just slowing down their game plan. Let's see. I guess... Crawling Courses go out? Let's see. See, no lands. Wait, no lands? Should I cut the lands? Should I just cut the... Yeah, let me cut the lands. That'll be exactly what we need to do. That's what we totally should do. Okay, hold on. Drop the Calling Chorus there. We'll take out that. We'll put back in the Witch's Vanity for a little bit more movable. And I guess, I don't know. One more card has to go back in, though. I guess the Fracture? We'll just do that. Okay, well, again, here we go. We're mostly focusing now on the control aspect of our deck, so win or lose. We will see if we can try to pull off the impossible here. But again, one more time, everybody, for this final match. Thank you again for all hanging in there for a little bit longer. Hopefully, again, we'll see if maybe we can get a win here. A little bit of a slow hand here, but we get to go first. So we at least get to kind of peek at their hand with duress. Our opponent is already mulliganing, so that does give us an advantage. No lands. I meant that game, no lands for 3 turns in a row. Yeah, that was a little bleh, but it's okay. It's okay. Okay, let's get a peek at their hand. Okay, so let's see. They have a lot of Wraths, but those Wraths don't do anything against us. We will get rid of their Sorin. That's got to go. The Wraths I don't care about, because we mostly took out most of our creatures anyway. Okay, Watery Grave. Put that down. Tapped. This does give to our opponent an indication we don't have a creature at this point. They deduce. Card making token. An island. Okay. We still have removal. We have a counter spell if we need to. Okay. Do we care about Grafdigger's Cage right now? I don't think we care too much about that right now. So let's see. How do we do this here? You know what? I'm going to do it this way. Big Galaxy Brain move here. I'm just going to have it come in as a creature. No counterspelling. Let's see if we bait. Okay, our opponent does not have any removal, or else it doesn't look like it they did. So this puts the this now puts pressure on our opponent here. So this is actually what we want. Sacrifice. They draw. They get a clue, or they draw a card. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Can we get there? All right. Mirex. We swing again. Nothing, opponents? Wow. Okay. So let's see. We'll pass here. Deduce again. So they're going to make more stuff. I want to bring in an Ashiok. But I don't know if they have a counterspell, because I already know they have Mystical Disputes ready to go. Okay, they have a lot of... They have a full hand here. Thoughtseize. Oh. Dang. That means they're going to throw away our Ashioks for sure. That's annoying. It's okay. It's okay. That means we might have to put Ashiok out there next turn if they don't have another piece of removal. Come on, opponents. Okay, tap land. Okay, I guess we'll just make tokens here. And we'll pass. Okay, so with that, planes. Alright, well, this is it. Counterspell it, opponents? Yep. They do. No surprise, I guess. It's okay. If they already have that in hand, put them down to 8. We put a token on them. They're going to have to Wrath us eventually. Deduce. Wow, they really are trying to dig for an answer here, I guess. But they have the Wrath. And there it is. Okay, so that's the Wrath for everybody. That's okay. We'll have to pass here. So we got to find a way to keep the pressure on our opponent. If they don't have any creatures, they're going to keep digging for cards here. Oh, man. If I can just get to another Ashiok, we should be okay. Hopefully. In the meantime, I guess we can just make tokens. Down to 7. There you go. Up. 2 poison counters. Jace Unravelers. Wow, I haven't seen this card in a long time. Scry, and they get the draw. Okay. They can tick down if they need to get rid of our token. So that might be something to be concerned about later on. Oh, man. Den Splendid, I'm not going to blame you for this. But remember earlier when you mentioned that Go for the Throat's better for actual flavor? Well, if this was Bitter Triumph, I could have actually gotten rid of that Jace. Well, I guess that didn't quite work out in my favor, but that's okay. It's okay. Sometimes that's just how it goes when it comes to the game. I know, rip. It's okay. We have all these fatal pushes and no creatures to hit. It's okay. That is how it goes sometimes. Down to 5. Put down the land. We pass. Okay. It's okay, though, everybody. It's okay. No, you don't need to apologize. I was the one that did make that choice. So, it's not on you. I'm not going to blame you for that one. But it's kind of interesting how that now came back to bite me. But honestly, I don't really expect anybody to play this 5-drop Jace from, what was it, Amonkhet? I don't see anybody actually play that one, so. Wow. Our opponent actually has an Ashiok of their own? Oh, come on. Well, the good news, though, is we still have our Fatal Pushes. Phew. And we have the Mirex. Okay, so. Oh, this is so close. Okay. Wow, this is really close here. Okay, throw away 1 Languish. Down to 3. Oh, man. Can we get there? I don't know. This is close. They scry. Yes, I mean, it's good that I have the land, but it's... I mean, they still got... We're still a little too close here for comfort. Maybe I should throw away the Mystical Dispute instead. Well, we'll see. Champion of Wits. Okay, what did they throw away? Because they had to throw away 2 cards. They throw away a Thoughtseize. We still know most of their hand. We'll Fatal Push away this token. Okay. And we will make another token. Wow, okay. Down to the wire here. I don't know. Our opponent has to block here. They don't have enough to land to turn on the Hall of the Storm Giant. Okay. Down to 1. Okay, let's see. Wait, how much do we need for this? Okay, so that's 4 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think we have enough. Let's see, hold on. This is a tough turn right here. This is a really tough turn. Okay, we'll pass. Okay. All right. Our opponent here. We have 2 tokens out. In order for them to stop, they have to either tick down with Ashiok or tick down with Jace to bounce away everything. Okay. Okay, they get to counterspell for free now. All right. Languish. Okay. They make a token.
All your fears
Okay.
are given form.
We make a token. Let's see. Go for the throat. That unfortunately means that that gets counterspelled. Oh man, that's so frustrating. Okay. We have to force them to get rid of that mystical. Wow, I should have gotten rid of the mystical dispute first. Okay. Alright, so. That gets counterspelled. Okay. So unfortunately, we can't do anything with that. So the way we have the setup now is we have to find a way. Okay. I don't know if we have an answer around this. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Oh, no. Sheoldred. Oh. They bounce away. Oh, dang. Oh, that's game, everybody. There's no way we can get around the Sheoldred. Dang. We can't get around Sheoldred because the counterspell from Jace's ultimate makes it impossible for us to push through. Not unless if we have to get counterspell for everything. We can't bring in the Woe Strider because they'll just counterspell it with their emblem. Dang. Wow. There's literally no option here. Unless if we can make maybe another token faster than they can. I think what hurt me was I should have duressed away the counterspell instead of the Languish. That's probably what hit me hard right there. So now they can Eternalize. They will draw some cards. They gain life. Oh, jeez, dang. Well, it's okay. It's okay. Don't think of it this way, everybody. Bitter Triumph, I probably should have kept that in. That was my mistake. Focusing more on flavor there kind of actually bit us in the butt. Because if I actually had that, not to go for the throat, if I had the Bitter Triumph, I could have gotten rid of the Jace before it ultimated. And we actually might have actually gotten the win. But that's okay. Alright. Well, we'll just cut it here, everybody. Our opponent right now just went off completely, and I don't want to deal with this. So, hey, it is what it is, everybody. Sometimes that's just how it is. Don't feel like, what happened was, I think everything overall just kind of didn't line up with this match. If we kept the deck maybe as is, I probably could have possibly have won. I did misplay myself. Let's be honest. I did misplay because I should have actually realized now looking back that duress should have gone over the mystical dispute, which would have forced our opponent then to have no answer in order for us to actually get rid of their creatures. But you know what? It's okay. Don't worry, everybody. I'm not mad. That was a good game, though. that was a good game. Let's at least leave it at that. So thanks everybody for hanging in there for that. Okay, so let's wrap this up. And let's go ahead and cover how this deck did. So, what do you all think, everybody? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? Truth be told, I do like what the deck is trying to do. Actually was happy with how overall, but as you saw, we had a couple of awkward spots. Maybe if I didn't focus so much on the flavor aspects, maybe it could have been a little bit more optimized. I will say a couple of things, though. Mondrak here, man, I really wanted this card to do stuff, but it didn't do anything. We never drew it, and we never really got to take advantage of, you know, the token production with it. This is better off, honestly, for more go wide decks. So I probably would cut this just initially. I don't know what else I would put in there. Maybe, I guess I would focus maybe another Strider, maybe some more removal. That probably might be a better option. Is maybe more counter spells. Maybe the Mystical Disputes for our own probably would have been helpful. Overall, things that did go well with us. Overlord of the Mistmoors, I did like what this was doing. We didn't get to play Ashiok too much here, but it does go nicely with what the deck is trying to do. I think this deck probably would be better, and I really didn't want to do this, but maybe the deck might be better if you cut out more of the jank, horror, and nightmare stuff and stick to more of the core of cards that'll help draw into your action. Keep your Woe Strider, keep your Fear of the Imposters. Devouring Sugar Maw is fun, but it's not ideal. I can definitely see why the card is mostly a niche option for select decks, so something to keep in mind. Witch's Vanity, this is actually not a bad removal spell, but we didn't get a chance to use its full potential just because of how our deck is designed. So I probably would cut these and maybe just keep an entire set of Bitter Triumph, not Go for the Throat. But Go for the Throat was fun. It's nice flavor, but it didn't really help us out. Bitter Triumph honestly gave us a little bit more of an option, so something to think about. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. As far as everything else, you know, your usuals like Fatal Push. Fading Hope was fine when we used it. Fatal Push, of course, is a staple. We needed that. Crawling Course actually didn't do too bad. This is actually a really good card for us for the deck. So things to just keep in mind with this. We got a chance to at least play around with the deck in best of 3, and I think this is probably going to be a change that I'm going to do going forward with future streams. I'll probably do best of 1 in the first part of a match, and if we're doing a 60-card deck, in the second part of the stream, we'll do best of 3s just to get a feel for what the deck is trying to do and what it fits better. Honestly, I think this deck does much better in best of 3 despite our standing. So think about that also if you want to do this. You have better access to other things here. And I honestly think that the deck overall did decent. It just needs to be tweaked. So if I wanted to play this more seriously, less sadly of the flavor. I know that was actually one of the draws of the deck, but it actually didn't do too well. Or I'm sorry, it did well, but it didn't, I guess it could have performed a lot better. Something, again, I would probably look at maybe in the future. For a future deck tech, maybe next Halloween, whenever we feel like playing maybe some horror again. Now, having said all that, if you're a person that still likes the deck in some way, shape, or form, and maybe you do want to try this out on a budget, my best suggestion for you is just cut the mana base down to the basics and put in some of the lesser tap lands. So if you were to do this very briefly, hold on one second. Let's make a copy real quick, like we always do. Now, if you do want to take this and make this like a super budget deck, here's what you would do. So obviously cut the Raffine's Towers. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the Water Graves. 7, 8, 9, 10. Gloom 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Maybe you can get away with 1. 1, 2, 3. I'm just doing this right now as just like just as a base reference. So again, the ratio here is not what you want. It's just, again, me just trying to fill it out. So 16 rares cut just from the lands alone. I would probably say keep the Overlord, keep the Ashioks. If you want to keep this as is, Devouring Sugar Maw is not bad, but we'll probably cut Mondrak. Put in 1 more Woe Strider. Cut the Witch's Vanities, cut the Go for the Throats, and we're going to put in different removal. So for this removal, let's see what we got here. So with that, here, okay, so what do we want instead? Okay, if we're going to go with Mono Black, thankfully Mono Black has plenty of options for you. If you want, just for the sake of simplicity, we'll keep the Bitter Triumph. I would probably say maybe 3, actually. And then whatever else you feel like might be more beneficial for you. So maybe something like, let's see, what else would you want? You'd probably put in maybe a copy of Elspeth's Nightmare. This is mostly just for also in main deck Graveyard Hate, if you want to. Or if you want to do something else like a Feed the Swarm here. Again, these are just examples of how I could recommend for you to make this a little bit better, a little bit more efficient. The Devouring Sugar Maws are fine. Ashioks and Overlords. I would probably actually say the Devouring Sugar Maw is not bad. This is just going to be more focused on, again, the early game, focusing on more of the spot removal and stuff. So something like that isn't probably what I would recommend. So the main deck would then have about, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, might even get rid of the Wharf Infiltrator. This was not bad, but it didn't really get a chance to really perform as well as I thought. So yeah, I probably actually could get rid of those too. So instead, I would then say maybe better counter spells for the deck. That might be your better option here. So with that, I would say, what would we have here instead? Actually, probably 2 Dovin's Vetoes. You probably could get rid of the No More Lies, or if you can want to do No More Lies, that's also true. That's also fine too, whichever one you prefer. I guess it just comes down to, again, what you preference. But let's put in No More Lies just as an example. So with that, you're looking now at a deck that has, in the main deck here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 rares in the main deck. So that's actually pretty budget. So that's perfectly understandable. But in terms of like your counter spells, if you want something consistent, I would then say, yeah, actually that's not a bad option there, Dense Planet. Let's go with that real quick. So I do like Fear of Imposters, but if you don't want to give your opponent any kinds of like card, like creature advantage, you can also try to do that too. Like cards like Dissipate actually wouldn't be too bad here if you want to kind of like give yourself more of a control build. So something to consider. For the sideboard here, it would really be painful, but you could cut the Supreme Verdicts just to give yourself something else besides another Wrath. So stuff to get rid of. That's where it gets a little painful. So 13 right now, 14, 15, 16. Minimum keep these, so you'd have 16 rares total in the deck. You can keep your Duresses, No More Lies. Overcharge the Malcolm probably could go out here. And actually, that's probably where I would put them. So let's see. So you probably could put here the 2 Dissipates if you want to. But again, you have a bunch of options for this. Because again, you're playing mono blue. So actually, I would say, what actually would be better here? So I think instead, your better option here is Mystical Dispute probably might be your better option here. So 2 Mystical Disputes will probably help you out a little bit more. Keep the Fractures, keep the Ashioks here for a little bit of flavor purposes. And there you go. I would say this might be your best option if you want to keep it budget. If you guys want to, I can keep this right now as let's see, well, you know what? I'll put this into the description for the final part of this. So we'll keep that there. And then as far as what else you want to put in, actually, wait, hold on. Did we build this correctly here? 25 lands, that's fine. Let's see. Sorry, thinking out loud here. So in terms of how else, yeah, maybe, actually, hold on. I think I know the best card draw spell for us. So in that place, we would have, hold on, type it like that. Wait, no, whoop, whoop, whoop. So for a little card draw, since we are missing it in this deck to a degree, I would say maybe like a couple copies of Deduce here would actually be better for you. So that might be your best option if you want to do it that way. So I think that probably would be helpful. Deduces here can give you card draw over the course of a couple turns. So even like 2 copies alone would be not too shabby for us. So something to think about however you want to build it. The point is we want to try to keep the core of the deck. So the Crawling Choruses, Woe Striders, Devouring Sugar Maws keep the core of what this deck is trying to do. Ashiok here and Overlord of the Mistmoors are going to be your finishers. Fear of Imposters for counter spells and also a little bit more support with creatures to block. No More Lies for more counter spells. Removal, Feed the Swarm. You don't have to use Feed the Swarm. It's just an example I'm using. Bitter Triumph here for more removal. Deduce here for some card draw. Fatal Pushes for tempo play and removal. Fading Hopes also for tempo and Crawling Chorus. If you really feel like you would rather have more card draw, then I probably would say, and if you actually really want to go bold with this, you probably actually could even get rid of the Crawling Choruses completely and maybe go with like Fading Hopes, and I would say even like, I don't know, maybe like 2 Feed the Swarm. Something like this might actually be more helpful if you want to go more control. So again, you have options. You have a lot of different options. I'll keep this as is, and you kind of get the idea there. So just something to consider overall. But otherwise, that's basically it for you, everybody. Let's go ahead. We're gonna finish this up right now. I'm gonna have to get ready for my big boy job in just a moment. So before I go, let's kind of talk about again, what are we looking forward to in the future? So I do already have, as I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna talk about the big change that's coming, which is Universes Beyond being added completely into Magic with everything going forward. I don't even know how that's going to look for Arena, so keep that in mind as we look through 2025. I will have that commentary video up this weekend. I also have I'm starting to build towards our next budget deck for Timeless, so hopefully, again, you're all looking forward to us playing some Timeless and high-powered Magic coming up soon. We'll obviously start building again for our next future stream next week. I have plenty of decks I can play with. We have a couple of 5-color decks that I want to, at some point, get to. We have, of course, my energy deck that I would really love to show off to all of you. It's actually my personal deck. I'm looking at maybe making an ultra-budget EDH/PDH, so Pauper commander deck here in Arena for Tatyova. We also have a Timeless Madness deck that I'm also looking forward to doing as well. So we have still plenty of decks to work with. As we get closer to the Foundations, I'm actually going to go full on, of course, into Foundations for the remainder of the year. So either way, there's still so much for us to talk about. Just not enough time to do it all. But I'm going to try to make room as much as I can, everybody. But otherwise, that's basically it for this stream, everybody. Thank you once more time to everybody who did join me today. For our new fiery friends that did join us, thank you one more time. I know some of you have already left, so I appreciate all of you for hanging in there for today. Den Splinit, again, shout out to you. You're always, again, an all-star for being here with me today. Sirki, I know you already... thanks again for also joining us today, our new friends. So one more time with them. And of course, Nizazel, I know you're already gone, but again, one more time, shout out to you one more time. Thanks again for being here. We're going to see you again all next week for another exciting, awesome stream. And as always, have a wonderful week, everybody. If you do celebrate Halloween tomorrow, happy Halloween. Please be safe out there. Please be careful with what you get. And again, just make sure that you guys take care of yourselves, okay? But as always, the one thing I want to leave you with is finally, just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. See you next week, everybody. Later.